Before taking to the road, it's important to understand that driving a car-trailer combination is not the same as driving your car alone. You should always reduce your normal driving speed when towing. The maximum recommended speed for most car-trailer combinations is 55 miles per hour. The posted speed limit is usually the same for trucks and car-trailer combinations. You need to pay attention and follow these speed limits, especially if they're less than 55 miles per hour.
Why is it so important to slow down when towing?
A high-speed, aggressive maneuver, even without a trailer, can cause a loss of control of your car. Adding a trailer may increase this potential if you do not reduce your speed from your normal driving habits. Also, slow down for crosswinds, adverse weather, poor road conditions, or road construction.
Now we're going to give you some general driving instructions while towing a trailer. First things first, always wear your seatbelt.
How much braking time or following distance do I need?
Your car and trailer combination is longer and heavier than your car alone, requiring more time to stop or pass. Always leave extra time and distance to react or brake to a stop when towing a trailer. A good rule of thumb is to follow the 4-second rule. If bad weather or poor road conditions exist, use 5 seconds or more. Simply watch the vehicle in front of you as it passes a fixed object and count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, and so on. A car-trailer combination also requires more time and distance to pass. Have plenty of clear highway ahead of you before attempting to pass another vehicle, and never pass on hills or curves.
How do I tow going up and down a hill?
Always slow down before going down a hill. Shift into a lower gear to help maintain your speed, and never ride the brakes on downgrades. This will overheat the brakes and cause them to malfunction. A good rule of thumb is to go down the hill in the same gear you used to go up it. Vehicle stability decreases when you go downhill and speed tries to increase, so be sure to slow down first.
What about turning sharp corners like in city traffic or at a gas station?
Turning sharp corners requires wider than normal turning radius to prevent the trailer tire from hitting or running over the curb. To do this, drive slightly past your normal turning point, then turn to the outside of the lane you are entering. A little practice will show you how to do this.
If you've never towed a trailer before, backing up can be confusing or even a little intimidating. It doesn't have to be. Try this easy way to help control the trailer when backing up. Keep your hand at the bottom of the steering wheel. Look over your shoulder through the rear window, and when you want to move the trailer left, move the wheel to the left. When you want to move the trailer right, move it to the right. If your trailer starts to jackknife, stop, pull forward to straighten it out, and try again. Of course, if you plan ahead where you park, you'll have a clear path forward and you won't have to back up after all.
Hi there, Rick with Smart Drive Test talking to you today about your road test preparation. One of the competencies that you have to demonstrate is space management. Underpinning space management is following distance. Many students are somewhat confused or not quite clear on what following distance is or why we measure in time. So today we're going to talk to you about following distance and how to determine that and why it's determined in time as opposed to distance, and we'll get you ready for your road test. We'll be right back with that. Hi there, Rick. Welcome back. Talking to you today about following distance. For the purposes of your road test, In your road test for cars and light trucks, you need to maintain a following distance of 2 seconds. For commercial vehicles, it's closer to 5 seconds, especially the bigger the vehicle is. Obviously, if you're in an ambulance, it's going to be 3 to 4 seconds, or a small bus. The size of the vehicle determines the following distance, and as the vehicle gets bigger, the greater the following distance. The way that we measure following distance is by time. So we're following another vehicle. We look for a fixed object along the roadway. When that vehicle in front of us passes that fixed object, we begin to count. 1 crocodile, 2 crocodiles. When we go past the same fixed object, that's when we stop counting. Whatever we got to, 2 crocodiles, 3 crocodiles, 4 crocodiles, or 5 crocodiles, that is the amount of distance that you are following the other vehicle in front of you. The reason that we measure in time as opposed to distance, saying you're following another vehicle at 3 car lengths, is kind of like saying, well, how long is a piece of string? We don't really know. We can determine, however, if we measure by time, exactly how far we are behind that vehicle. If you're traveling in a speed zone of 60 kilometers an hour, you're traveling at approximately 17 meters per second. Therefore, if you're maintaining a 2-second following distance behind the vehicle in front of you at 60 kilometers an hour, you're at approximately 34 meters behind the vehicle in front of you. If you go out onto the highway and increase your speed to 100 kilometers an hour, your traveling distance is now 28 meters per second at 100 kilometers an hour. So at a 2-second following distance, your following distance is now 56 meters as opposed to 34 meters that you were doing at 60 kilometers an hour. So what you can see is as the speed increases, so does the distance between the vehicles. This is now why we use time, because the distance between the vehicles expands and contracts with increasing speeds. And speed is the most important factor in determining how fast a vehicle will stop. That is now why we measure following distance in time as opposed to distance. In conclusion, for the purposes of a road test, you have to have space management. Underpinning space management is following distance, because the space in front of your vehicle is the one space around your vehicle that you can always control. 2 seconds for light trucks and cars. For commercial vehicles, it's 5 seconds following distance. The one old rule that's still on the books, commercial vehicles following outside of an urban area can follow at 200 feet. They still haven't taken that off the books, but it's still in the manuals if you look hard enough. I'm Rick with Smart Drive Test. Thanks very much for watching. Good luck on your road test. If you like the channel, subscribe below. Over there's a button. Hit that one. Hit that like button. And remember, pick the best answer, not necessarily the right answer. Have a great day. Bye now. Major components of road test.
The driver, vehicle, hitch system, trailer, and load are all elements of your trailering system. And in the safe operation of a car-trailer combo, the most important element is you, the driver.
The hitch is a device which attaches directly to the rear of a tow vehicle, providing the connection between the tow vehicle and the trailer. The hitch ball is the ball-shaped part of the hitch. The tongue is the part of the trailer which extends forward from the trailer body and includes the coupler. The coupler is the connecting device mounted at the front of the trailer tongue that connects directly to the hitch ball on the car. All trailers should be equipped with safety chains. One end attaches permanently to the trailer tongue, the other end attaches to the car's hitch. Hitch and components must be matched based on the weight rating and sizes of the various components.
How do you determine these ratings and sizes?
Each component is labeled with weight ratings, and the ball diameter is stamped on the hitch ball and the trailer coupler. It's important to note that the ratings must be compatible with the trailer in use. The hitch system is only as strong as the weakest link. The weight rating is based on the trailer weight, and the component rating must meet or exceed the trailer weight.
Now that we've matched up the vehicle to the trailer and matched up the hitch components, it's time to hook up the trailer to the vehicle. One key point to remember is to not let yourself get distracted. In other words, don't stop until the hookup is complete. Okay, just step a little bit away. We're going to lift the coupler onto the ball. Okay. Now, different trailers have different couplers, but this one has the ball housing that goes over top of the ball, and it has a ball clamp that holds the underside of the ball, and that's what keeps the trailer from bouncing off and leaving your combination as you're driving down the road. Okay, now, this is what I'm talking about, not getting distracted. This hand wheel here that you have to tighten down is what actually pulls the ball clamp up to the underside of the ball. And that's what's holding the trailer to your car. Okay, so it seems like I've got it as tight as it can go. But if you want to jiggle it a little bit, you can actually push back on the trailer. And then you can see, oh, I'm still getting some more turns on this hand wheel. Okay. You want to make sure this is a good connection. So you feel under it, you could look under it, but you would see that the ball clamp is pressed up tight against the hitch ball, and so you're not going to have an accidental disconnect. Okay, after you get a good connection on your coupler and your ball, safety chains are next. First, you're going to crisscross the chains. And then you route them through the holes that are in the hitch. Next, adjust the slack so there's adequate slack for turning, but the chains won't drag. And then, secure the chain hooks. Now that we have the safety chains connected, we want to hook up the lights. These plug together. And then you'll turn on your car and you'll make sure that you have brake lights, running lights, and turn signals.
As you can see, how you load a trailer is just as important as hooking it up correctly. A trailer loaded heavier in the front will prevent sway and whipping. A trailer loaded heavier in the rear half will begin to sway at a certain speed. This sway will then progress to whipping if the speed is increased. The correct way to load a trailer is to put about 60% of the cargo weight in the front half of the trailer, or as specified for a particular trailer if different. Once you've loaded your trailer, make sure you secure the load to prevent the cargo from shifting within the trailer. This will prevent cargo damage and maintain the stability of the trailer by keeping the load heavier in the front half.
Using your eyes effectively. Using your eyes effectively while driving. Welcome to Using Your Eyes Effectively While Driving. We're going to explore the fascinating world of visual perception. And we'll answer questions like, what's the difference between the two types of information our eyes provide us with? Where on the driving scene should a driver concentrate most of his or her attention? And what's the effect of alcohol on a driver's visual perception? The answers to these questions and more in Using Your Eyes Effectively While Driving. The skill of safe driving is mostly in your mind, how well you think about what's going on around you. To think clearly and react quickly, you need information, and most of that information comes to you through your eyes. It's called visual perception, and it means your ability to notice many things at once. To get the right information to the brain, a driver's eyes have to move constantly, picking out the appropriate parts of the driving scene at the right time. How can you make sure you're using your eyes right when you drive? First, let's take a look at how a driver's eyes work. There are two types of vision, central and peripheral. Our central vision is concentrated in the spot that covers about 3 degrees of our visual field. Peripheral vision, or side vision, covers the rest. Central vision is a very small area in the middle of your total field of vision. But central vision allows us to make some very important driving judgments, like estimating distance and reading details in the traffic scene. Our peripheral vision, or side vision, is not as sharp as central vision, but it is more sensitive to light and motion. That's a good thing, because it helps us detect events to the side that are important to us, even if we aren't looking directly at them. Events like cars entering our field of vision from the side, or warning lights on ambulances, police cars, and other emergency vehicles. Central vision plus side vision make up the entire visual field, the main source for the information that every driver needs for safe driving. Most driver mistakes are caused by bad habits in the ways they use their eyes. Let's take a look at the best way to make our visual perception work for us when we're driving, because how you use your eyes will determine how safely you drive. Where in the driving scene should a driver concentrate the most attention? Most of a driver's attention should be concentrated on the vehicle's intended path of travel. There are 3 basic rules to follow in developing good eye habits for driving. First, aim high and look ahead, not down. The experienced driver's attention is focused on the road ahead, with the central vision following the intended path of travel. Second, keep your eyes moving. The good driver concentrates on selecting details in the traffic scene and on the distance between the car and objects ahead. Third, get the big picture. Search the whole scene, not just part of it. Check the rearview mirrors to see ahead and behind you. As you approach an intersection, watch for vehicles and pedestrians moving in all directions, for traffic control devices, and for anything else that might block your vision or otherwise increase risk. Now let's see how these rules work in some actual driving situations. Driving is primarily a task of information processing, but in order for us to learn what visual cues are important for driving, we must be able to describe the driver's visual search process. This is a representation of a driver's visual field. The oval area in the middle of the field represents central vision. The grayed area surrounding the oval represents side vision. When we drive, our eyes move in a series of rapid, jerky movements. Between each movement, the eye pauses for a fraction of a second, then darts to another part of the scene. These pauses are known as fixations. Now, even though these fixations are very short, they give the driver's brain time to gather important information from the eye's image of the driving scene. When negotiating a curve and merging onto a freeway, the same 3 rules that apply to training your vision apply. First, aim high and look ahead, not down. The eyes of an experienced driver tend to look ahead, typically sweeping into the curve several seconds before her car reaches it. Second, keep your eyes moving. Use the lane lines close to your car to maintain proper lateral position. Third, get the big picture. Your eyes select important clues as to how to maneuver the car, the curvature of the road, the condition of the curve, and the speed and direction of other traffic. Merging is another potentially difficult maneuver. A good driver starts sampling the conditions in the stream of traffic 10 seconds before reaching the merge point. In a merge situation, experienced drivers maintain lane position by glancing momentarily to the right side of the road. They always maintain an awareness of other traffic patterns developing around them. Train your eyes to follow the 3 rules. Aim high and look ahead, not down. Keep your eyes moving. And get the big picture. Keep these rules in mind whenever you drive, and your eye habits will improve. With experience, some driving tasks don't require every eye fixation to be directed only toward traffic and the path of the car. For example, a driver may be concerned with avoiding a pedestrian, but can still maintain control of the vehicle with only very brief glances at the intended path of travel. Experienced drivers develop the ability to use side vision to judge distance. Let's look at two examples in which drivers are functioning at less than top efficiency. Consider a tired driver. His central vision tends to fixate lower and to the right, often dipping all the way down to the road surface. Consider another driver, one who is mildly under the influence of alcohol. His example allows us to answer the question, what is the effect of alcohol on visual perception? Even though he isn't legally drunk, after only a few drinks, the effects of alcohol on his eye habits are readily noticeable. His concentration is failing. His eyes are staring straight ahead. His central vision is stuck squarely on the surface of the road. He notices nothing to either side. This is a very dangerous situation, both for himself and every other driver on the road. New drivers can train themselves to have good eye habits and effectively search the driving scene for important information that will allow them to drive more safely. To train yourself to use your eyes properly while driving, you must follow our 3 rules. First, aim high and look ahead. Give yourself a visual lead time of at least 20 to 30 seconds. That's about 2 city blocks at 30 miles per hour, 4 at 55. Second, keep your eyes moving. Roadway and off-road conditions are constantly changing. Search the scene for clues to these changes. Stay alert for changes on the roadway or potentially dangerous conditions that might require you to readjust the speed or position of your car. And third, get the big picture. Search the whole scene, not just part of it. Scanning helps you gather more information and keeps your mind engaged on the traffic scene, which reduces boredom and fatigue. Scanning also means checking your rear view and side view mirrors at least once every block in the city and once every 5 seconds in heavy traffic. Because of blind spots to the rear of and behind your vehicle, head checks are an important part of the scanning process. Always return your central vision to your intended path of travel and use your side vision for information along the edges of the traffic scene. That wraps up our presentation on visual perception. Applying what we've shown you in this presentation will increase the efficiency of your eyes and brain in gathering and processing the information you need to drive safely. Remember, your safety and the safety of everybody on the road with you depends on all of us improving our skills at seeing and anticipating driving hazards.